The Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Tree of Life Synagogue shooting during a baby naming ceremony has claimed 11 lives and wounded several police officers.
A very horrific crime scene. It's one of the worst that I've seen, and I've been on some plane crashes. It's very bad.
And as the president said, anyone who does such a thing in a temple or a church should pay the ultimate price.
The perpetrator, Robert Bowers, 46 of Pittsburgh, a Jew hater and a Trump hater, is now the new poster boy for leftist mainstream media propaganda to control the narrative in order to influence the midterms.
I think there's a term that applies to the president, and it's the arsonist firefighter. He is a president who has, in many ways, exacerbated tensions within our country, and I believe, frankly, the hate within our country.
The Southern Poverty Law Center and the Anti-Defamation League, those are just two world-class civilian intelligence organizations. So, for the most part, I think that this incident, and what I'm most worried about, is that this could be the precipitation of multiple incidents by this newly and reinvigorated neo-Nazi movement in the United States that hates George Soros and migrants and anyone else.
Just only a few days ago that this president willingly and happily cloaked himself in that term of being a nationalist.
Some of the things President Trump has said has made the American neo-Nazi movement, and in fact the global neo-Nazi movement, view him as a hero. This particular gunman didn't, because President Trump wasn't ruthless enough against Jews for his taste. But it goes out there by saying things like he's a nationalist. That is an actual code word for white nationalists, white supremacists. And they view the president as their agent of execution in policies that bring them forward.
Regardless of the propaganda punditry, President Trump addressed every aspect of the synagogue massacre.
Anti-Semitism and the widespread persecution of Jews represents one of the ugliest and darkest features of human history. The vile, hate-filled poison of anti-Semitism must be condemned and confronted everywhere and anywhere it appears. There must be no tolerance for anti-Semitism in America or for any form of religious or racial hatred or prejudice. You know that. You know that very well. You know that very well. I just want to thank you for your understanding, because today, with one unified voice, we condemn the historic evil of anti-Semitism and every other form of evil. And unfortunately, evil comes in many forms. And we come together as one American people. I have just spoken. Go ahead. We should.
The mainstream media targeting of independent media and anyone questioning the narrative guarantees midterm madness is only going to increase as we move forward.
You can see the staging, you can see the timing.
Well, look at what CNN just declared there, that you can't even say the word globalism. You can't be critical of globalism without being called a racist. Now, these leftists, I want to be clear about this, these leftists, including CNN, they have been calling all Trump supporters Nazis and racists with no justification for that. But today, you saw the violence of an actual Jew-hating murderer who might be called a Nazi. That is something that we all denounce. I know you join me in denouncing that.
Absolutely.
This kind of violence is not acceptable in our political spectrum whatsoever, and yet the left has decided that they will use any means necessary to demonize and smear those who love America by calling people racist, calling people Nazis, and even demonizing the word nationalist. What? If you care about your country, that's evil?
This has always been a problem with this president. He has always shown a sympathy or a dismissiveness towards terrorism. He is a terrorist sympathizer.
Looking beyond the midterms, will there be an outcry or even prosecution Over election meddling by a blatant biased mainstream media, emboldened by Silicon Valley totalitarianism? That answer depends on your vote, America. John Bound reporting.